feel relieved. I feel like my heart is light.
It was the ignorance that hurt me down to my core.
I support you people.
Hi, this is Gloria Bigelow, and Olive and Hanifa have me out here in the cold trying to get you people stories, and I think I have one, so tell me your name.
My name's Michael Silvestri.
Hi, Michael. Thank you for telling your story. So what is your you people experience?
Well, let's start at the beginning. In October of this year, 2007, I was incarcerated with my friends for smoking in the park. But the problem started with...
I'm sorry, Michael. I have to laugh about that.
Yeah,
because you know.
Oh, if you knew the T-shirt I was wearing, it was "Stupidity is not a crime. You're free to go." The precinct had a ball with that one. But I'm legally male on my license and everything. So when the officers asked for my information, they just took it off of my driver's permit. So I went into the precinct as male, and I was put in the male holding cell. It wasn't a problem. That wasn't an issue until I was going to see the judge the next day. One of the officers actually walked up to me after I had just seen the social worker and said, "Honey, I have to ask you, are you all boy?"
What does that mean?
I knew for me I would answer yes, but I knew what she was implying, so I said no. She said, "So you still have," clearly she wasn't even sure. She was like, "So you still have female genitalia?" I was like, "Yes." And she was like, "Well, honey, you might be able to fool some people, but you can't fool me."
Were you trying to fool her?
I didn't even know. I had no idea. At that point, they locked me separately from everyone, males, females.
So you had your own cell, a private cell.
I was treated like a king. I could hear outside, too, very clearly, and at which point I could hear the officers discussing, I guess, their idea of transsexuality, of what was their words? I don't want to misquote them. That didn't end there. At that point, for some reason, I still didn't get to see a lawyer or a judge for another almost 24 hours again. And at that point, when they brought me from... It was in Red Hook, and then they brought me to Central Booking. And when I entered there, I was handcuffed to a tall female, and the officer at the desk said, "What is that?" And looked directly at me.
What is that?
What is that? And I shoved no look on my face, and the officer didn't say anything, and he took a few seconds and said, "Male or female?" And then she said, "Female." And even further into that day, still waiting to see a lawyer, I was interviewed by the social worker, again, at Central Booking, at which point she said, "Well, honey, we had a hard time with your paperwork because they had you down as male because your name is Michael." I said, "No, ma'am, they have me as male because I'm legally male." She said, "Well, that is just," what'd she say? "That's just unnatural."
You people know you need to stop.
A whole almost 48 hours. I eventually saw a lawyer. Once I saw the lawyer, everything seemed to move a wee bit faster, but I know now in retrospect it was due to my family, who's really supportive, really pressuring them to find out what's happening with their child, where is Michael. What hurt me the most, it wasn't going through that, it was the ignorance. It was,
you would think that they would have done some kind of work at some point.
It was the ignorance that hurt me down to my core, that they saw absolutely nothing wrong with their remarks. They saw nothing wrong with their statements. They didn't look like they were second-guessing themselves. They didn't see, like, as a person, like, they didn't see anything wrong with treating me, addressing me with their language, their body language. They saw absolutely nothing wrong.
Seemed like that sensitivity training they took didn't really work. That's what it seemed like to me.
They get sensitivity training?
Maybe they don't.